Today my cruiser board was run over by a car. You know what, it wasn't even a car, it was actually a van. So let me tell you the story. This morning, I got brand new Super Reds bearings, and I was super excited to put them in my cruiser board because the old bearings were rusted and gross and terrible. So I did that, and then I rode it around the room once or twice, just from side to side, and it felt great. I rode it 4 feet total probably, but it felt really good. Then I filmed a new cruiser board setup video to talk about my setup and show you guys what it's all about. Then I made a pizza. Then I was in a rush to go to class, but I also had to film some B-roll shots for this video just of what my board looked like. And the thought briefly dawned on me, like, what if something were to happen to my board as I took it to and from class? And it wasn't even like something dramatic, it was just like, what if it got scratched and it looked different in the video? I quickly dismissed the thought, thinking that's ridiculous, but I still went and filmed the B-roll stuff then anyway. I'm taking my cruiser board with brand new bearings to class. I exit my building, I turn the corner, I start riding, and the streets were particularly busy today, and I was people dodging, and there's this street pole. So on one side of the street pole, there's about 10 feet of sidewalk, no problem. And then on the other side of the street pole, there's about 10 inches. And here's a photo, just so you have an idea. This is the very street pole. The typical path would be that 10-foot path where there's nothing to hit, and I'm aiming for this path, and suddenly a man gets in my way. So I try to veer around and take the little skinny gap in between the street and the street pole. I think if you're rolling slowly and you're planning for it, you can roll through this gap no problem. The issue is that I was rolling fast and not planning for it at all. So traffic, bear in mind, is rolling parallel with me at the same time, same direction, and the curbs in New York City are metal. So I'm curving around and the back truck accidentally locks into a grind on the curb. Now, this is kind of like when you're jumping into a 50-50 grind and you accidentally get into a feeble and you just jump off. So I jumped off unfazed, no problem, land on my feet, whatever, and my board slowly rolls into the street. And I wish it was like this dramatic, crazy, fast thing, but it kind of just like rolled slowly and I didn't quite have enough time to reach for it. I wish it were like an Accord or like a Mini Cooper or some kind of like small car that rolled over the board, because then we'd be fine. But it was a freaking van. The van's front right tire rolls over the board, and at this point the board was still in one piece, but you kind of just have to wait and watch as the back tire comes in to finish the job. So I quickly lunge and grab my board from the street after it's been run over twice now, and I look at it, and miraculously the board is still in one piece. And I'll show you, all that was left on the board, there's just a little scratch. Like, it looks almost like it's totally fine. And I'm thinking, wow, I got really lucky. And then I flip over the board. This is kind of like the scene in Batman where they remove the bandages from Harvey Dent's face to reveal that he's in fact Two-Face, kind of like how this is half a wheel. And if I just spoiled Batman for you, I'm sorry, it's been way too long, you should have seen it by now. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my little story. If you want to see the setup video for this cruiser board that once had 4 full wheels, there's a link over there. And on that note, I'll see you guys eventually. I gotta go buy new wheels. Works just fine.